All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron here, bringing you your daily horoscope for the 21st of November 2019. The moon is in Virgo, right? Still staying focused, staying sharp. The moon is going to be trine to Saturn, trine to Pluto, discipline, structure, transformation, falling in love with doing the hard stuff. The stuff that we don't want to do, being honest with ourselves. Are we making excuses for why we haven't been doing the things that we need to be doing? Yes, we have been. Yes, we have been. No more excuses, right? No more excuses. It's time to get focused, time to be honest with ourselves. Mars is in Scorpio. All right, it's going to be there for quite a while. Mars is home. Saturn is home. Jupiter is home. Neptune is home. All right, we have a lot of energy being home right now. The sun in its last day of Scorpio. All right, the Mercury retrograde ends today. All right, Mercury's been stationed direct for the past 2.5 days, and now on Thursday here around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, forward momentum. All right, so whatever communication has felt pinched off, a little tight, a little closed off, stagnant, still waters, you know, we're going to add a little motion. We're going to flow. We're going to flow. It's like adding a pump into the pond, you know. It's like adding the fountain. Adding that fountain into the pond keeps the water from staying still. And then when the water stays still, we get more bacteria, more, you know, it's we need the flow. Doesn't matter what's going on in the pond. We need to flow. We need this water to flow. We need the communication to flow. All right. The sun at the 29th degree of Scorpio. We can expect some complications, but we're going to be able to get through it. Okay. Last degrees are always tough. Those conversations that need to be had are going to be had on this day, on Thursday, before we jump into Sagittarius season. We're all looking forward to that, you know. And I'll be honest with you, the sun gets a lot of credit, as it's supposed to. The sun is up there lighting this planet up, right? If it weren't for the sun, the one and only sun that we orbit, you know, we would not have the food, we wouldn't be able to sustain life. Who knows if the human race would even exist without that one sun, right? So the sun has a couple helpers. You know, the sun, it's like they're little pendulums, okay? Mercury, and then Venus is a slightly bigger pendulum. So we always have our thought and our love. You know, Venus is our love, and then Mercury is our thought, our intellect, right? When thought and intellect, when thought and love become one, you know, we really shine. This is the sun. The sun really shines. So the sun always has its helpers traveling around with them. This is where Mars stands alone as far as our personal planets go. Mars says, I don't need you guys here. I don't need to be around you. I'm going to take my sweet time going through this stuff. Now, though, the sun, Venus is long gone right now. Venus is what, 24, almost 25 degrees of Sagittarius, catching up there with Jupiter, with King Jupiter. Very, very exciting, coming up soon. So this is still a conjunction, only 3 degrees apart right now. Okay, so Venus, we're expanding our love, expanding the things that we love up in Sagittarius, and wanting a quest for knowledge and to search for more answers. Okay, it's like that bright shining star that's off in the distance, and it's worth seeking out what that is. Is that a fire? Is it a mirage? I don't know, but I'm going to go check it out. You know, there's an answer out there that I'm willing to find out what it is. It's part of my journey and my quest and my mission. So Mars stands alone. Mars doesn't pendulum like Venus and Mercury does with the sun. Okay, Mars takes about 2 years to get around the zodiac, all 12 constellations, and it's just now entering home in Scorpio, which is about shared resources, right? What's mine and what's yours, what's ours, right? And it's not being held back by the cardinal sign of Libra anymore by saying, you know, I got to focus on what you want. It's like, no, I've got to focus on me and my journey right now. Me and my journey, I've got to go in deep and finish sweeping and cleaning and doing the detail work that Venus, the Sun, and Mercury all missed. You know, Mars is our warrior planet, and it's coming to clean house over the next 2 months. Very, very, very important. And in the early degrees right now, it's a beautiful thing. All right, let me show you the chart here. Because Mars, here at 1 degree, look at this, creating an opposition to Uranus. We have to let go. We have to let go of our stubborn behavior. We have to let go of our stubborn attitude. We have to let go of this stubborn thinking, this old way of doing things, old world mentality, old traditions, right? Maybe Thanksgiving is going to be a little different this year for everybody, okay? Then we have this quincunx happening here to the healing aspect of Chiron, okay? And then, of course, we have the sesqui-square there. You see the square with that little line. That's a sesqui-square. You know, these are very two similar aspects, where the sesqui-square is a little bit easier to handle, where the quincunxes are an odd challenge. They're the very annoying aspect because you can't quite figure out what self needs. You know, the Chiron's in Aries right now, which is self. We can't quite figure out what we need individually to grow as the community, to grow with this big cesspool of larger, you know, we're playing big business here, you know, big business. Okay, this is we're jumping in the deep end here with Scorpio season, with Mars coming home to Scorpio. You know, it's like Scorpio and Capricorn share that kind of big business mentality. You know, sex, money, power, Scorpio, the things that are taboo, you know, and this powerful, you know, individuals or powerful corporations. And can we clump together to create this powerful corporation, right? Or if we're trying to undo a corporation, undo. What do we need? What does self need to do? How do we move forward to undo the world as we currently know it, because it's not sustainable, right? What can self do in order to lead to our personal expansion? Okay? So there's a lot of energy on Mars here. So it's honestly, we could not end this year any better. You know, it's not the end of the year yet. We're still in November, but I mean, we are. We're only a month and you know, a week out, a couple days, whatever, before the new year. Okay? This January 12th, 13th is when we have the big Pluto-Saturn meetup. Very important. Jupiter's about to jump into Capricorn. All the energy that we've been talking about for the past year is going to shift. Crazy shift, okay? Especially Jupiter. Jupiter moving into Capricorn is huge, you know. And it's lucky of us. Jupiter in Sagittarius is it's a lucky aspect. It's a lucky planet. It's a lucky sign, you know, whatever that means, luck. But it's fortunate of us. It's fortunate that we're being pummeled with the shadow work. Pummeled with the shadow work. You know, we're not escaping ourselves during this process. We want this catastrophic change, because it sounds bad. You know, it's not terrible, but we want this enormous change to happen. But we're scared. We're scared. We're scared of ourselves. We're scared of what we'll become. We're scared of what's on the other side. And we just have to do it. You know, take the floaties off and learn to swim. There's no better way to say it. Take the floaties off and learn to swim. Get out of your own head. Have the conversation that's necessary, because it's coming up. Whatever's been holding back, the conversations are coming up, you know. And sometimes individuals are very strong and powerful individuals, and sometimes we feel meek in our quest for conversation, in our quest for knowledge, and we have to deal with these individuals who have very large personalities or very opinionated minds. You know, we have to be strong in our conviction. See, when Mars was in Libra, you know, when we're met with this pillar, this you know, very strong personality, it was very easy for us to say, okay, you know, I wanna work with this big personality, so I'm willing to put something of my own concern or my own desire to the side, because I want to work with you. I want to create this larger pool with you. Well, now Mars is saying, look, buddy, you know, I'm a strong individual too. I have, you know, but we don't have to say it with such, you know, but it's just like we all have our own, you know, we all take up space. We all have a voice. We all have hands that reach and grasp and feet that walk and get us to where we want to go. We all have ambitions and drive. You know, Mars, ambition and drive that brings us to where we want to go. We all need to survive in this world. And we do that through work. We do that through working with others. And it's funny, it's like even as an independent contractor or an entrepreneur, there's always a boss, and your boss is your client. Your client is king, in that aspect. Instead of you being the worker or the low man on the totem pole or wherever we fall in this, and then there's like a boss of the job, and they have a boss they answer to, and they answer to the clients, and the clients are the ones that are sitting behind their comfy desks writing the terrible emails, and then it just rolls downhill. And I'm gonna bring up something real quick. It's interesting as we see individuals these days, especially on social media, like, we should be sitting by the fire, telling stories, and not having to get up and do this 9 to 5. And it's like, yeah, there's a certain truth to that, but at the same time, where'd the fire come from? Who chopped the wood? Who cut the tree down? Who built the teepee? Who created the home? Who created the clothes for you to wear? Even if the modern jobs that we had didn't exist as we know them today, there's a ton of work that needs to be done. It's not like life would just be some leisure thing, winter is here, and we need to come together and survive. So some of that mentality, like, I hate this job. We shouldn't have to be working like this. This isn't how human beings should be. It's like, come on, it used to be a lot harder, and to be thankful, oh my goodness, to be so thankful, because we remember what it was like to be without? Before we had the connection, before we had that job, before we had the ability to come and be of service, to offer our services to an employer, to a customer, to a friend, whatever it may be, right? It's a beautiful thing to be able to offer what we do and then exchange it for pay, and for that pay to be able to give to us. So this is some of the stuff that we're going to be dealing with as we're leaving Scorpio, as the sun is leaving Scorpio season, and Mars is just getting started. And it's just like, good, you guys get out of there. You go learn more information. You absorb as much as you can, and I'm still going to do the shadow work. Me and Mercury are going to hang out here for a little while. Mercury still has some work to do. We still have some shadows in our own brains, that need attention. We have some cobwebs that need attention. We have some dirt in the little crevices that need attention. Because by the time we're done with Scorpio season, coming into, the top of next year, this house is going to be spick and span, clean, presentable to the world. So although some of the hard work is over, there's still a lot of work to do. It doesn't mean that we're sitting on beaches, lounging and just drinking up and living off the fat of the land. There's a lot of work to be done. Probably not, the answers, everyone wants to hear, but we are far from out of this shadow work. And again, with the connection to Uranus today is like, we got to let go of some old stubborn stuff. And it's going to, that connection's going to be happening. Look here, let's get a glimpse into the future. Now this is at 1 degrees. Uranus is at 3. So the quincunx is exact today here. The sesqui-square is right on the money here. Like, look, if you want to expand to receive the life of your dreams, if you want to make, your dreams a reality, we got to do this shadow work. There's just no question about it. And we're not escaping yet. We don't get to jump into this new pool of knowledge until Friday, And there's still a little bit of that, that pinched hose stuff going on here with Mercury. Mercury's still creating the trine, right? Like down here. Just a degree off of the North Node, okay? Reminding us still, like, whatever's going on, whatever this complicated stuff is that we have to talk about, try our best to just be empathetic to the person that we're talking to and understand that the conversation that we're having certainly does affect us on a deeper psychological level. And that deeper psychological level has an effect on our real physical world, our real physical bodies. The trauma that our words can create has a very real effect on our physical bodies, and especially if we allow it. Now you see here as well that septile between the Sun and Pluto really intensified today. Okay, so this is really a transformational period. Okay, so I was going to say, let's take these couple days ahead. Now you still have that septile there. It was exact here on Thursday. It's not there. It's there on Friday, but then it leaves us on Saturday. Okay, but now look at Mars. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, it's exact on Sunday. So we have the next couple of days here to, you know, it's like beginning the shadow work all over. It's revisiting this stuff and saying what inside really needs to go. What needs to let go? Is it something mental? Is it something physical? Is it the crutches? Are we done with the crutches? Are we done, are we done with the floaties? Gotta learn to swim. Are we done in the baby stroller? Are we getting up? Are we walking? Are we running? So there's a lot of work. It's got to be done. A lot of letting go that has to happen before the sun starts to really absorb all of this good luck and good fortune that's coming our way before the new year, before that big what have you is happening on January 13th. Okay. It's the end of Scorpio season / the beginning of the shadow work, part 2, 2019. All right. have a happy Thursday, my friends. At least the retrograde's over, so hopefully that conversation, whatever's coming, can flow with a little bit of ease, compassion, and care, and lead to our personal and group communal expansion. We'll see you tomorrow.